Hi, everybody. Scribbler Johnny checking in before we continue Forever Ends Tonight in Masks in Yokohama. And just wanted to take a moment to sort of shine a spotlight. Now, characters in Masks will often say things that don't match up with the objective reality. And I feel that that can catch people off guard because sometimes it's easy to forget that all of these characters are mentally ill and also that they all have very strong personalities or extreme personalities even and very strong beliefs and opinions. So just remember that all of the masks are in fact mentally ill in different ways and they're all extreme personalities. And so when we hear Shinichi say things like, Hiroi can't refuse pussy, but then we look back at all the times when he very much can and does refuse offers of sex. And um, it's just part of that. We're supposed to remember that, you know, they're they're flawed in their understanding of the world and each other's motivations are also flawed. All right. And just another reminder at this point in the story, it's 2030, 2031 ish. Okay. We will now resume with the conversation between Chiharu and Shinichi. That's right. By getting engaged, he's promising that his penis is now limited to those covered by our relationship and previously agreed partners. He chose us as the tyrants of his dick, she declared happily. I like being a dick tyrant. Shinichi kissed her. She was asleep before another word could be said. Hiroi awoke to Megumi still cuddled next to him in his bed that simply was not big enough to fit two adults comfortably. It was the chill part of autumn, as far as that went in Yokohama anyway. Halloween wasn't far away. He wanted to go to the Halloween dance party at Ghost Alley, the one part of the year when the club finally returned to its roots. Megumi smiled in her slumber. What sweet dream are you caught up in, I wonder, Hiroi thought. She opened her eyes, but slowly became alert. Good morning, my love, she whispered. Hiroi's stepmother knocked on his door. Breakfast will be ready soon, she sing-songed. The young lovers smiled sheepishly as their stomachs grumbled. They dressed quickly, Megumi covering her false tattoo under her yukata now. They brushed their teeth together, and Megumi shared Hiroi's multivitamin and mineral tablets. I share my supplements with you. If that isn't love, he teased her. Y'all best behave, she warned in her country accent. Hiroi bowed to her reflection. Yes, my love, Hiroi said. There was a place set for Megumi, and Hiroi's family acted as if Megumi had been eating breakfast with them all along, instead of for the first time. I think you look cuter with your hair loose, Megu-chan. Don't you agree, dear? Goro Matsui said, smiling at his future daughter-in-law. I agree, Mrs. Matsui said. Megumi smiled and bowed slightly. Thank you, Papa, she said, and then covered her mouth. Goro's smile got wider. You can call me Papa, but only you. Emmy calls me Papa, and I give her a frown like nightmares, he said. The meal was full of good-natured teasing. Hiroi drove Megumi to her parents' house. I know that Emmy is caught up in baby fever, but I really think you should finish school before trying to get pregnant. Again, Hiroi said. I never stopped trying, Megumi insisted. Didn't use a condom last night, did we? If I wait until I'm ready, I'll never be ready. But veterinarian school, it will always be there. Besides, 5 parents will take very good care of any of our babies. What if our baby is gifted? I think it's more likely. What if they aren't? Who cares? Our babies, Hiroi. What matters is they'll be ours. She kissed him goodbye then and strolled to her apartment, feigning nonchalance. We are nearing critical stage, she thought. Our relationship will be decided soon. I hope we can go the distance. Her little sister was playing Go with her mom. That Hiroi is a bad influence, Megumi teased. Her sister blew a raspberry. Mom played Go before Hiro was born, she scoffed. Hiroi drove to the florist next. He told the clerk, I need an apology bouquet for my girlfriend. She nodded sympathetically and pointed out a few arrangements that were ready to go. He chose one with a large peace rose surrounded by baby's breath blossoms. Chiharu texted him right as he left the florist. In his car, he read the message before driving. I'm at Shin's if you have made your preparations, she texted. Flowers and on my way, he responded. You know what you must do, Hiroi. Not naked, please. Not where Hanako will see. What do you care what Hanako sees? Think it hasn't seen your dick? Hiroi never considered Hanako to be an it, and this disturbed him a little, the knowledge that she did. He hurried to Shin's apartment and hauled himself up the hidden dumbwaiter to the secret entrance and spoke the password. Sashimi restraint. The light turned green and Hiroi entered. Chiharu was wearing her work clothes, a conservative black skirt, cream-colored blouse, and a small turquoise kerchief around her neck. You look, Hiroi began, but Chiharu interrupted him. If you say stewardess, no forgiveness for a month. Beautiful, Hiroi finished, and then he held out the apology flowers. She folded her arms and coughed, expectant. Hiroi sighed. I grieve, and then he performed the ritual abasement. Chiharu pointed at his pants, frowning. Really? Hiroi demanded. She scowled. He performed the ritual abasement, naked. She laughed. The way your balls flopped around. And then she became sober again. Your abasement pleases me. Give me the apology flowers. Hiroi handed them over, his head held low. Will you fuck Sadako or any other whores ever again? She demanded. No, my love, Hiroi replied. She accepted the bouquet, smelling deeply of the flowers. When you asked me to marry you, you basically gave me dominion over your dick. Megumi too, she said. Hiroi looked up shocked. No! Hey, you don't want to marry me? Of course I do. Then accept you now live under dick tyranny. If not, say goodbye to Chi-chan's Chi-Chis. But I love Chi-chan's Chi-Chis, Hiroi whined. Chi checked her phone. Emmy's here. Kiss me goodbye, Chiharu called out. Shin came out of his bedroom in a bathrobe and kissed Chi on her neck. Geez, Hiro, put some clothes on, Shin teased. Chi opened her arms and Hiroi kissed her other cheek. I'm off to work, Chi announced. And she left, carrying the bouquet, tucked it in her purse. Hiroi hurried to dress. Shin waited until he was pulling his pants up before he said, Your balls flopped around like a carp streamer. and then laughed. Hiroi chased after him, but his pants fell back down, so he had to pause and pull them back up and button them before he could continue. Hiroi cursed his blood brother and weighed him down. Gotcha! Hiroi crowed. The hologram activated, showing Pendulum and Wolfgal kissing. The distraction made Hiroi release him. Shin pointed and laughed. Thwarted by the hotness! Hiroi just nodded. You win. See you in hell, he said faintly, staring still. The hollow pendulum began fondling the hollow Wolfgal. How far does this program go? Hiroi asked. They grab a double-headed dildo eventually. Isn't girlfriend porn the best? Shin asked. Did you ask permission? I asked Demi's permission. Cancel the hollow and ask Chiharu, Hiroi insisted. Cancel hologram, Shin said. He pulled his phone off of its charger and texted Chiharu as the hollow blinked off. Hey, sweetheart, I made a program where hollows of Pendulum and Wolfgal have sex. Can I keep it? Chiharu read this aloud in Emi's car. I want to see it, Emi shouted and then let out a howl. Chiharu smiled. I didn't love the idea, but you can keep it as long as it stays in the family, she responded. Promise, Shin sent. Chiharu looked at Emi. Do you actually love me, Emi? She asked. Of course I do. You have earned your place. Blood and tears, right? Emi replied. Yeah, but actually want to be a family? Chi pressed. Yes, Chi, I want to be a family and live with you. You make me happy, and my men too. Even though you wanted to kill me? Chiharu, you cut me deeply just now. I'm going to let you think about what you said, Emi said stiffly, driving cautiously. Chi thought about it. Did you ever fight Megumi? She asked. Emi smiled ruefully. Once, she said. You didn't kill any of us, even though you could have, Chi said. Because you love us. Emi reached out to take Chi's hand. Because I love you, she said. Emi waved as Chiharu left for work. She forgot her flowers in the car. Emi took them home and put them in an empty coffee can with some water. She read the card. Please forgive me, it read. Made him do the naked dance, I bet, or whatever that ritual abasement is, Emi mused aloud. She drank some coffee and sat in her back lawn, wearing casual clothes. A paper airplane glided to her lap as she sat. She unfolded it. There was a note written inside. Thank you so much, Inukawa-san. Is there any chance you can get your girlfriend to sunbathe without the privacy screen? A. She smiled and waved to Aozoro's apartment window. She then flashed a thumb down. Chiharu was very strict on who was allowed to see her naked, and Emi respected her choices. As a peace offering, she took off her t-shirt to give Aozoro-san a good look. She tried not to wear bras unless she had to, disliking the constrictions in the cover. Plus, she felt that anyone who wanted to see her boobs was all welcome to. She had been given a gift. Well, a few gifts. She finished her coffee and then went inside, carrying her shirt. Megumi ate some of the beef jerky that Shin had bought for her while she was studying. When Oni Girl retired, she would become a vegetarian. But for now, her gifts demanded meat. She looked at her arm. It was unmarked, but she remembered where she had used Wolfgal's war teeth to tear through her flesh in an attempt to save Wolfgal's life. Her blood and flesh were Emmy's blood and flesh, right in her heart. She had wept as she held Wolfgal, praying for a miracle, cursing Iron Oyaji for shoving his ironclad fingers through Wolfgal's heart. She didn't even notice when he had died, killed by the sister that he had raped for so long, thus binding herself to Pivot, Craftsman, Wolfgal, and Oni Girl's destinies. Goldenot was a friend, in spite of her abuse of Shinichi and Hiroi's love. Megumi touched her forearm, remembering the pain that tore a scream from her, the cool spring rain that had soaked her to the bone. Wishing some kind of sympathetic magic would allow Emmy to feel her touch as she thought of her, as her skin covered Emmy's heart. And across town, Emmy held her hand over the tan patch of her pale breast, thanking Megumi again for saving her life. Would Megumi's DNA have merged with her own? Would her children carry her genes as well? Acting on this thought, she ordered a DNA testing kit on the internet. Emmy had to know this before she got pregnant. She hurried to take a birth control pill, and then her psych meds, because her watch alarm beeped at her. "What are you doing for Halloween?" Shin asked. "Smoking." "Ghost Alley Halloween party?" Hiroi replied. "I meant costume, mad scientist." "Nice. I'm going as Papaya Suzuki." "Who?" Shin showed him a picture of an afroed Japanese man wearing an Elvis-style jumpsuit. "Oh, Papaya Suzuki and the Oyaji. You're such a dork," Hiroi said with a snort. "Well, I already had the afro wig, so it was either him or DJ Ozma, and I don't want people to think I was gay," Shin explained. "Wait, DJ Ozma is gay?" "Obviously. Did you ever listen to the song's lyrics? I mean, the band's logo is a fist clutching a mushroom," Shin retorted. "Listen to his song about Spider-Man." Hiroi listened. "Wow, he really loves Spider-Man," Hiroi mused. "Yeah, as in, he wants Spider-Man's love," Shin said. "Oh shit, I need to finish Oni Girl's uniform." Shin then got back to work with his sewing machine. Hiroi left out the secret side exit after waving goodbye, but Shin didn't notice. Momojisa took her watermelon vine to the University of Yokohama and told the assistant professor of nuclear science about her project in brief. "Miss, a watermelon cannot eat plutonium. It just doesn't work that way," he explained condescendingly. "My friend Surprise Peach used her gifts to alter this plant. It will break down the isotopes and process them into harmless elements." "I'm sure Surprise Peach has the best of intentions," he said. "Test it! Just test it!" Momo insisted. "All right, miss. We'll use some of our expensive plutonium for your experiment. I'll give you 10,000 yen if it doesn't work," Momo said. "My name is Momojisa Azuki. I speak for the Myrrh." "Huh?" "I mean, I'm working with Surprise Peach and Ambassador Marina of the Myrrh." They were suited up an hour later, placing a smooth-cut piece of plutonium into the soil of Momo's plot, next to her watermelon vine. She fed her energy into the plant, helping it to find the plutonium. Tendrils sprouted before their very eyes, wrapping around the plutonium. The vine budded. The Geiger counter rapidly showed the radiation diminishing in the testing chamber. 3 small melons were now developing. Momojisa cheered. I knew it would work. Surprise Peach is a real super. The assistant professor stared in disbelief. How? He asked. Like any other minerals plants consume, just that this plant was made to feed on plutonium. Surprise Peach is working on a kelp that eats petroleum and petroleum derivatives, Momo replied. For the Mer? He asked. Yes, and humanity. Surprise Peach wants to use her powers for the greater good. Wait until Professor Adachi learns about this. She'll be beside herself with excitement. Momo smiled and nodded. So, are you Surprise Peach's spokeswoman? He asked. I am. As they talked, Momo watched the watermelons grow, and later she watered the soil. The tendrils spread out, seeking other trace elements. The fruit rested on the table outside of the pot. Momo didn't mention the plant consumed and refined gold to be stored in seed pods to give the Mer access to wealth that no government could try to steal from them. She kept that to herself. Salvage laws were always iffy anyway. So, take the gold coins and turn them into unidentifiable lumps of gold. Gold dust on corals and seabeds became solid nuggets. The Mer were going to get real respect for once. Surprise Peach was helping. She looked at the assistant professor sharply. Surprise Peach gets full credit for this. She created the plant, she insisted. Of course. This isn't about credit or glory. This is about the environment, he replied. Still, Momo concentrated, and the leaves developed markings that read, Property and Creation of Surprise Peach. Professor Adachi joined them before long. My understanding is that a gifted person is responsible for this, she asked. Yes, Sensei. Someone named Surprise Peach. She can control even the plant's genetics and chromosomes, Momojisa replied. She gave a bow. They discussed possible applications and opportunities for Surprise Peach's plants. Professor Adachi was especially interested in the special soybeans that Momo intended to work with some charities to distribute to struggling nations so that they could better feed their people. Just use them to help people and have goodwill toward the Mer. Things were coming together. And she looked brightly towards the future. That night, Emi and Chiharu escorted Seijiro to a dance club called the Burning House. They were dressed to be seen. Noizumi Harawa saw the young man accompanied by the two young women. He looked to be too young to be at a place like this. He needed counseling, like the kind Miss Manta could provide to help him stay out of trouble. Those women looked like a bad influence, too. Noi unbuttoned another button on her blouse and checked her green wig in the mirror behind the bar. She knew she could help him out when the opportunity presented. How she loved saving boys, and how she loved thin boys. Men! She liked men. She didn't want to go to jail. He had to be old enough to be here. She watched as the young man danced with the shorter, more petite woman first. Chiharu was having a great time. The music was good, the lights made things seem dynamic and exciting, and she felt gorgeous. She enjoyed helping Shy Jiro to come out of his shell, too. His gift to move fast created interesting bursts as the lights hit his arms. He tried to do it only a little, a treat for Chiharu, but Noizumi saw he was gifted. Those made the best boyfriends because they understood. The song ended, and Jiro led Chi back to where Emmy was sitting. Emmy clapped. Very good, she said. My turn next. And she pulled Jiro to a fairly open place. This was a slow dance song. Jiro faltered. No, Jiro-chan, you stay confident, Emmy said, placing his hand on her hip and holding his other hand. She led him in a swaying rotation dance that made Jiro think a bit of a clock. The women will really like seeing you slow dance with me, Emmy said. Jiro smiled. Thanks, Emmy-chan. You're a true friend, he said. If Momo were a true friend, I wouldn't have to be. She's your teammate, and she left you adrift. A real teammate would be helping you get dates, Emmy said. She's busy helping the Mer, Jiro said. Don't defend her. She can make those plants of hers grow fast, Emmy growled. Momo doesn't care about you. She's not a good friend. What about Megu Megu? Jiro asked. She's not here either. Yeah, she's not here. I am. Also, Chiharu, Emmy added, her ire beginning to melt. Well, I guess I deserve your gratitude, she conceded. When the dance ended, she kissed him on the cheek. Now we'll go and vanish for about 10 minutes. You scan the room and look for a likely lady, Emmy said, and she led him back to the chairs. She and Chiharu went to the line outside the ladies' room. You were great, Chi-chan. That peck on the cheek was gold, Chiharu replied. She cheated and floated a foot or so into the air. I see him moving in on a sexy older lady with green hair, Chi reported. Can you anti-gravity me too? I can't quite see, Emmy asked. So they both floated and bobbed, watching Jiro talk to the green-haired woman, who seemed to be flirting. She led Jiro out the door. They settled back to normal gravity. I'd say our work here is done, Emmy said. Not so. I recognize that woman. Jiro just got picked up by Miss Manta. Jiro couldn't believe his luck. A well-built older woman liked him. He'd thought that she had introduced herself as Noah, but away from the music and conversation, he heard her correct him that her name was Noizumi. Noi. She led him toward a love hotel. Noi-chan, isn't this fast? He asked. We're masks, Jiro-chan. This is normal. Wait, how did you know? I watched you dance. Not sneaky enough, I guess. Rule number 1, never show off because you never know who's watching, Jiro recited. That sounded familiar to Noi. Outside the love hotel, she said, Rule number 1, mask is not a career. Never neglect your studies, Jiro added, with a smile. Hands off Jiro, Miss Manta, Chiharu ordered. He's an adult. He consents, Noi retorted. Miss Manta? Ew. I'm 18, Jiro said, pulling away. I know that. I only date adults now. No ulterior motive? Emmy asked with her hand in her purse. None. Can we please just be civil? Noizumi said. Jiro, do you want to be with her? Chiharu asked. Are you seriously changed? He asked Noi. Yes. No more little boys, she promised. Okay, Jiro. You're a grown man. We're near if you need us, Emmy said. Jiro considered and then said, No. You want to rush into sex, and I don't want that. I want a real girlfriend. He walked back toward his friends. Good for you, Jiro. Know what you want, and don't settle for less, Chiharu said. I can't believe I got cock-blocked by 2 other women. We're supposed to stick together, Noizumi said. I won't apologize for not trusting the youth counselor who seduced her clients. You violated a basic trust, Chiharu said. I'm trying, okay? I'm trying to be better, Noi said. Date men your age, Emmy said. I'm Christmas cake. Nobody wants a 28-year-old woman. Sure they do, Emmy said. Leave Jiro alone. He wants a woman his age. He's classy, not like you. They turned their backs on Noe then, and they didn't see her begin to cry. I don't want boys anymore. But men are scary, she thought. I'm so scared of rejection. It hurts so much. She buttoned her blouse up to the collar and took off her wig. She left for Ghost Alley. She felt the looks and heard the whispers, but she tried to be brave. I'm not that woman anymore, she thought. I'll show you I'm not her. Megumi was eating soba with Shin. Do you really want to marry me? She asked. You should know that. I love you, Megumi. I never knew how much I needed someone stable and mellow like you. You're so smart and you're so good, Shin said. I'm not that good. I'm selfish too, she said. Maybe you think selfish, but you act selfless. You're our moral compass. My wedding present to you will be my mask, Shin said. What do you mean? Her heart skipping a beat. Doki, doki. On our wedding night, I will give you my mask, and I will never wear it again until you give it back, Shin promised. I had to learn how to love you, but you live in my heart now, where my blood belongs, and I don't care. You make my demons run away. I finally know that I won't be abandoned again. You'll never abandon me. Megumi covered his thinner hand with her big one. I never will, Shin. You're mine now, and I'm yours. Will you be happy in the country? I'll launch my own satellite for internet if I have to. I'll go wherever you go. She squeezed his hand. Your mighty love overwhelmed me. I'm locked in your arms and I never want to be freed again. My mighty heart is in your hands. Do you remember when you knew you were in love with me? I saw you smile with your eyes closed in my bed, and I realized you were vulnerable too, but relieved. You trusted me. If a woman as strong as you trusted me and felt like your trust was rewarded, then I was worthy of you. If I was good enough for you, then you were the woman for me. How does Emmy fit in? Emmy is Emmy. How could I not love her? Megumi barked a short laugh at that. To know her is to love her, she agreed. Next ask about Chiharu, Shin said, slurping at his broth. Tell me why you love Chiharu. The way her eyes get big when she says she loves me. Chi-chan is full of life and passion, like you, but small enough to carry and do those fun porno positions with. But small enough to carry and those other things, Shin agreed. Do you? Not yet. She's very vanilla, like you. What, you want to get wild? I'm not flexible, but I'm strong. I could buy one of those swings. Save that for when we have a house. Do you want children? Sometimes. Sometimes I'm afraid, she admitted. Afraid of what? Afraid I'll hurt my baby. I'm so strong. I believe in you. I trust you with my babies, he said. I love you so much right now. What happened to the cynical misanthrope that I fell in love with? You fell in love with him? Hiroi looked at his calendar. December wedding. Moho, is December special to you in any way? He asked. Nah, Blala. 1 month and all like the others. I'm just happy you marry a good woman. Good women will keep you out of trouble, save your life, Moho replied. You're my god now, huh? I'm your friend, Hiroi. Treat me like a friend. Don't go worshipping me. I'm not a worship guy. I don't do miracles and all that thing. Will you be at my wedding? Thanks. I'll be there. I might even dance with your mother, make her smile, huh? I'd like that. Moho put his arm around Hiroi's shoulder. I know that you're at war, but don't lose your smile. One day, the war over. Still going to need smiles. Going to want babies. Babies like smiles. Will I be a good father? Lala, you will have troubles, challenges, but you're gonna love your babies. That's the thing. Too many babies not loved. You're not perfect, but you're good. You've got that love. Hiroi nodded. And try not to yell too much, okay? Kitties get scared at the yelling. Hiroi nodded again, and Moho gave him a hug. You're a good man, Hiroi. You will be more better. No worries. Hiroi hugged him back, unable to reach all the way around the massive god. You got friends, you got family. Marriage's not gonna change that. You still Hiroi, even when you're Mr. Megumi, yeah? Yeah, Hiroi replied. Even when you Mr. Emi and Mr. Chiharu, you still you. And then Moho was gone, leaving the scent of wood smoke behind. The god of steam was a good friend. Benkei looked at the sleeping woman beside him. Like him, she was fat, and she had a poor self-image. He'd had too much to drink, too, but sleep wasn't coming for him. He couldn't remember her name. How mortifying. He'd usually been good with details. They'd met at Cape Town, a club for people who liked to cosplay as masks. Masks looked down on masks who date capes and mask chasers, but Entropos took what he could get. This woman had been impressed, not scared, of his gift. He realized that meaningless relationships only worsened his misery. It was time to get a real job and a real girlfriend. He'd start by trying this one on for size. Maybe she was ready to settle down too. He slipped out of the blanket and crawled from his futon to the floor, and he walked naked to his closet. Goodbye, Entropos. Only Tendo Benkei lives here now, he whispered. He slid open his closet and put on his uniform, and then he took it off again and put it in a cardboard box that he had saved from a clothing store. He slid the box onto a high shelf and then slid his closet shut. The woman woke up. What are you doing, Ben-chan? She asked sleepily. She remembered his name at least. Putting away my uniform. I won't need it anymore now that I have you, Benkei said. By the way, I drank too much and I can't remember your name. She smiled. My name is Yoko. Ben climbed beside her and kissed her. Welcome to the rest of our lives, Yoko, he said. She kissed him. Does that mean I'll see you again? Yes, I want to be your boyfriend. Are you sure? I'm fat and I can't cook and I work at a fish processing plant, so I'll stink when I get home. My last girlfriend beat me up and called me names. I'll never do that. Then we're off to a good start. I'll never hit you or call you names either. The next morning, Entropos tweeted, I'm done arching Pivot and his people. I'm retired. He meant it too. He boiled up some instant miso soup and made toast. Yoko came to join him, her hair still damp from the shower, and he smiled. He could see himself loving her. There was a comfort to her presence. She smiled. What is it? You're staring. I think I'm falling in love, he replied, and he wiped his glasses on his chamois. She giggled and kissed him. Well, good. I think I really like you too. I want to find out, she said. Yeah, let's find out. Hiroi was feeling sad, waking up alone. He didn't like it now that he'd grown accustomed to company. He decided he needed his own place so that his women could stay with him whenever they wanted. He could move in with Chi-chan. Megumi wasn't far from her apartment, and he could really improve the place. So he texted her his idea. I spend a lot of time at Emmy's because she lives close to my work. If you want to live with me, I'll stay home. Yes, move in with me, Chiharu responded. After finishing his work, Hiro asked to borrow the truck. His father agreed. Chiharu was home by the time he'd brought the new futon bedding, the space heater, and some kitchen appliances. She helped him to move things, and with his gift helping, they got everything done in one trip. Chiharu gravitated things to where she wanted them, and then she jumped into Hiroi's arms and kissed him firmly. We're the real thing. I love you so much, she said. Hiroi carried her and kissed her. He carried her to the kitchen counter and set her down. Thanks for letting me move in. I'll have my things here tomorrow. It's my day off, so we can do it together, she replied. You like that idea? She nodded. It'll be just like we're real fiancés, and I'll rub your feet, and then we can make love in our bedroom, on our new futon, in our apartment. Hiroi caressed her face. Hours. I like that too, he said. Then, when we have our house in the country, I'll learn how to garden and make soup out of our vegetables. Are you saying you want to be a housewife? He asked. She wrapped her arms around his neck. Yes, yes, I think I want to be a homemaker and take care of our family, she said. He kissed her. Then I'll find a place where you can have your garden, my little wifey. She squealed. Oh, call me wife all the time. I love you, husband. She hugged him close and wrapped her legs around him. I envisioned living with you for years, Hiroi. You, me, our family. She lay her head on his shoulder and sighed. I like being as tall as you, she added. Hiroi laughed softly. I'm feeling very happy, but I do need to pack. Want to help me? Yeah. I also want to tell you about what happened at the club with Emmy and Jiro. We ran into Miss Manta. She told him about what happened. Megumi was studying, really cramming for college. But then she made a choice. She would take the test next year. The rest of this year was for her and her family. Oni Girl tweeted, I'll take the college exam next year. I'm going to relax and just live life. Frogman liked her tweet. Garukatsu replied, Good for you. Live it up. Bullet Train replied, Okay, but be careful not to forget your dreams while you're relaxing. Surprise Peach replied, Nothing wrong with taking time off. Megumi smiled. She wondered who Frogman was. and why he followed her if they'd never met. In fact, she'd never seen him. Emi drove to Chigako Negazawa's clinic. Well, her workplace, anyway. There were people waiting on wooden chairs with old cushions, faded to a non-color. She carried her gift to the front desk. "Hello, is Negazawa-san here?" she asked. A few men were eyeing her. She smiled at them. Chigako walked forward from a room behind the desk. "Oh, hello, Emi-chan. Can I help you?" "No, I brought a gift for you," Emi replied, setting her gift on the counter. Shin's mother unwrapped the paper, which Emi had folded artfully without tape. The gift was a basket made of wicker and a bouquet of tinfoil flowers and fir cones. "It's an undying flower arrangement," Emi declared with a smile. "Wow, you must have spent a lot of time on this," Chigako said. "Well, I don't have a real job, so I craft things." "Welcome to the family, Nagazawa-san," Emi replied and gave a shy smile. "After the wedding, you can call me Mama," Chigako said with a smile, and she gave a bow. She thanked her for the gift. Emi bowed and bid her good day. Maybe Chigako would really, really let Emi call her Mama. Wouldn't that be nice? And Emi felt an ache as she missed her parents. She drove to the park and spent hours climbing trees. In the branches of a maple, she thought she saw a familiar boat. She blinked and realized she was too far from the shore. Stupid Papa. It's never his boat. Stupid Emi. Mama and Papa are dead. Living off of a trust fund inheritance. What good are you for? Fighting, fucking, and handicrafts. Go home, Emi. You're literally up a tree. Don't take those pills either. If they can't handle you at your worst, they don't deserve you at your best. You haven't played bail Emi out of jail forever." Emi rapidly climbed down and dropped the last 10 feet, rolling as she landed. She howled in excitement and ran to her car, ignoring her watch alarm. She ran inside from the car, carrying her clothes in her hands and laughing. She kicked the door shut behind her. "How many pills have I skipped? This is vitally important," she asked aloud. "Only 3 doses, Emi. Nobody can tell." "Thanks, narrator. I love you," she sang out and ran to take a cold shower. After the cold water cleared her head and made her nipples stand at attention, she ran out, water still running, and danced in her backyard. "No white wedding, hey!" she sang as she clapped and danced. She cartwheeled, she laughed, she howled. Now it was time to play the game. She ran back to the shower for a perk up and slipped on the tiles. She caught herself and did not fall. "This is going to be great. Hiroi will rescue me, and I'll know Hiro-chan loves me best, and I'll glitter up and have Fairy Queen sex to reward him, and we'll get married, and we'll grow a persimmon tree, and I'll be a good mommy." Good mommies teach their children to always take their medicine. Emmy nodded and turned off the water. Her hair was frizzing everywhere. "Narrator's right. Always take your medicine, Echo." And then Emmy paused. "Narrator, you can't tell me to take my meds and also not take them," Emmy complained. "Sorry, Emmy-chan. You're more fun without them. I hear you, but good mummies take their medicine too, not just good children." So Emmy took her meds, and then she called Hiroi. "Honey dear, fiancé man, you know Emmy loves you forever ever, right?" she asked. "Yes, Emmy." I love you too, Hiroi replied. I went off my meds. Can you come help me make sure I don't ruin everything? Because I ruin everything, she said in a small voice. Stay home and lock yourself in, he replied. He was at the office. What a time for her to go off her meds. He packed up his workstation and went to the chief's office. Good, he was alone. Hazama-san, Hiroi said and bowed, and waited. Matsui, please come in. What can I do for you, Matsui? Hazama asked. Sir, my fiancée is ill and hasn't been taking her medicine. May I leave early today to care for her? I promise my productivity will not suffer, Hiroi said. How long have you worked here, Matsui? Hazama asked. 2 years, sir. Do you enjoy this job? Yes, sir. You get lots of free time doing data entry and stuff at home. Yes, sir. My fiancée is mentally ill, sir. You had to bail her out of jail earlier this year, didn't you? How did you know about that? My sister works at that same police station. It's true, Chief. So you're going to make sure she takes her medicine and stays out of trouble? Exactly, sir. Don't let her embarrass you. You're on the right track for promotion, Matsui. I endorsed you to move to investigations. Right in your interests, right? Thank you, sir. She won't embarrass the company. No, sir, she will not. Take good care of her. She's pretty, my sister said. I will, sir. Thank you. Hiroi bowed again and hurried to Emi's house. He had to unlock the front door. Good. Emi, it's Hiroi, he said, entering slowly. He closed the door behind him. I'm here to help, Emi, he called out, knowing that these manic episodes could be quite dangerous. Wolfgal howled. Somehow he could tell the difference. Arroo, he replied. He walked toward the sliding door. It was also locked. Emi, this isn't a good game. Wolfgal? He asked finally. He began walking toward her bedroom and where her bathroom was. He heard footsteps, and then a weight knocked him face down on the floor. Sharp teeth pressed onto the back of his neck, and Wolfgal growled at him. Wolfgal, I'm Hiroi. You love me, remember? He said, his voice muffled in the carpet. She began to whine and licked his neck. Hiroi, I took my meds, but they aren't working. I'm a bad wolf.